Hello, my name is Brad, and you've probably seen some other videos of mine in my YouTube account, in my page, and you've probably got a lot of questions. But this video is about the Rapture myth. Yeah, I call it a myth because it's a lie, and I don't even know when this lie started, but it came from misinterpreting the Bible, the prophecies. And of course, everybody wants save their lives. They all want to be saved from this world, this wicked world. If you're a Christian, you're led to believe that you're the only people that know God and are going to be saved, which is a total lie. Because all the Jews, going all the way back to when God first spoke into the minds of men, going back to Adam and Eve, for example. Adam heard the voice of God in his mind, and of course he had to learn a new language, so God had to teach him things, what the names of things were that he saw in his mind. And yes, it's in his mind. If you watch my other videos, you will understand how we're created. And you have to know how we're created to understand any of the prophecies or anything that's written in the Bible. You have to be used. You have to first hear the voice of God speaking into your mind. That's to get your attention. And then you have to start obeying all the commands, because you have to go through the justification process. That means confessing all your sins, repenting of them. It took God 28 and a half years to get me through that process. And then I had to witness many miracles, to get me to understand that the world that we're in is not our real. It's not real. It's an illusion that's forming in our minds. So all these miracle stories. I mean, I have several miracle stories that blow your mind. It's just as bizarre as Jesus walking on water, for example, which I don't know if that's true or not. It's just words written in a book in the Bible. But anyway, the miracles do happen, and it gets the attention to make you a chosen believer, to get you to understand that what you're observing is not necessarily the truth. Okay? Well, it isn't the truth, because it's an illusion. It's a formed illusion from the processing of information. So you have to understand that we're created in a simulation program. You have to understand that, and that our minds are connected to this intelligence source, where we get our thoughts, and that processes data into visible images that we see. And so you can watch my other videos about the truth, the beast and the Antichrist. They will help you understand what I'm talking about as far as this, where we get life from. That's what this whole thing is about. Where does life come from? What is life? And that's what the Lord has taught me through my testimonies, starting back in 2008, June 16th. That's when everything started. It's like going to college. It's like going to the university to learn anything new, and learning a new occupation. So I've been going to school by the program, the simulation program. All that stored data. It's being presented in my mind, word for word, precept by precept, and visions and dreams and spoken analogies. The system has me look at certain objects, had me work with computers since 1992. I've learned a lot of things that I needed to know to learn how we were created. So for almost 9 years now, since June of 2008, I've been taught directly from this system that we're created in. So now you have to understand this. So you got to really watch those other videos about the truth, the beast and the Antichrist, to learn how we were created, to understand that this rapture story that Christians want you to believe in, that a lot of people believe, a lot of Christians believe, that they're just going to be raptured up to the Lord when He comes in the sky and in the clouds, and His name is going to be Jesus. He's going to call them, and they're all going to be zapped off this earth, and everybody else is going to remain. And then, of course, we're going to go through this wicked trial, and everybody's going to suffer and die. That's what Christians want to believe in. But the truth is that every image that we observe in this world is an illusion that's formed in each individual mind. Now we're all connected to the same source, so we all get a part of the world. So whatever you observe in this world, you share with other people, and that knowledge, collective knowledge, makes us believe we're living on this big planet called Earth. Okay? So it's a collective information that we're living with called the world. And that's what has deceived us all, making us believe that we're actually real people living on a real planet. And so anyway, this rapture idea came from false interpretations by people who read and study the Bible who have no clue what the voice of God is. They've never heard it speak into their mind. They've never had commands to obey like I had to go through for all those 28 and a half years. And they never had to testify to the knowledge of Christ, word by word, and that forms in our mind. So you need to read those, or listen to those videos, or read some materials that I have written on the website. I'll leave the various websites that I have information on below this video, so you can go check it out for yourself. But it's a lot of knowledge. It's like I said, it's like going to school. It's like sitting in the classroom, being taught by teachers. But my teacher was the system. Okay, the voice of God that woke me up 37 years ago on December 7th, 1979. That's when it all started. And since June 16th, 2008, I've been taught directly by the system. And all done in my mind. Okay? Now, of course, I had to observe things in the world to help me understand things, but mainly the computer, the AI and voice systems that we have in place today. I had to learn a lot about photography, cinema, movies, and how it's all works out to give us the illusion of motion, time, and all that. I had to learn about quantum mechanics. God taught me that by taking me into visions and dreams and things like that. So I understand quantum mechanics. I can sit and listen to physicists talk about quantum mechanics and understand exactly what they're talking about. In fact, they use a lot of the same analogies that God, this system, used for me to understand. It took me into visions, and those visions align up with the videos that you watch physicists use to explain what quantum mechanics are. So I understand it all. Very simple. So all that is necessary to really understand how it's possible we could be living in a simulation. Okay, so all these people that believe in this rapture theory, it's a myth, it's a lie, they're going off somebody's false interpretation of reading scripture, of reading the prophecies, and then just coming up with this idea that Jesus is coming back in the clouds and they're going to get raptured. So they're going to save their lives. Everything that they understand and know today is going to be saved. They're going to remember who they are in this world, and they're going to go on living and be with old family members and who believe that were Christians. They just, that's what they want to believe. But the truth is, once we observe our flesh, the illusion, the body, once it dies, that's it. Everything we learned in this world, everything, the family members that we grew up with, our friends, all our teachers, everything that we learned is going to be dissolved. It's going to be deleted. It's gone. All that information that we lived with in this world came from information called Lucifer or Satan or devil, whatever you want to call it, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. All that information, the beast, of course, that taught men how to, you watch a video, taught men how to build false gods. So all that information that we experienced in this first generation of the program was all deceived us. It deceived us. Okay? Is God a liar? Is the system, the creators, liars? No, but it needed to go through this first generation of the program to help us understand who we are and how we were created. You had to have this. The delusion is the visible world. The delusion is thinking that we're real. And as soon as we woke up in this world, Adam and Eve, they were deceived by the visible things that they saw. They looked so real. We look in a mirror and we look at things in the world. It looks so real that it's convincing that yes, this body is a real object. But when you get into quantum mechanics and understand what these physicists are talking about, you realize that no. This visible image you see is all just a formed illusion from a series of very tiny flickers of light called particles. Okay, and that's all happening in the mind. It's all just the processing of information. So little tiny flickers of lights illuminating then on the retinas of our eyeballs, and of course they're illusions too. But you think of our little retinas in the back of our eyes, they're like little video screens. They're no different than the video screens you watch movies on. So all that data and that, it's just a way of showing you how we see things. So there's nothing out there. There is nothing outside of our minds. Our mind is all connected to the AI and voice system. So once you understand that, then you can understand then that there's no rapture of visible illusions, images. All that is going to be destroyed, and then what's left is the program. What's left is the system, the AI and voice system in a simulation program called Eternal Life. That's what's real. That was created by some unknown source. Now you can call them the creators, the creator, but they created this program to run forever. Okay, and we're going to see all kinds of illusions. We're going to be living in all kinds of bodies and in many different worlds. Okay, think of when you go to bed at night and you go into a dream. Sometimes you have a different body. I've experienced having different bodies. Okay, that's in this age. That's in this generation. So that's where they get the idea that we're going to reincarnate. Well, yes, we are, but we're always going to understand who we are. We're going to have the consciousness, our mind. That's the real part of us. That's connected to the system. So that's our created existence, the mind, the consciousness. That's a man. That's called a man. Okay, the system, AI and voice system of the program is our God. Okay, that's our God that takes data, stored data, and builds these illusions, forms these illusions in our mind, makes us believe we're in a 3D world. Okay, so those sparks of light, those little particles that are going on in the quantum mechanic world, they're giving us these visible illusions, okay, that aren't real at all. They're not real. It's all fake. Every bit of what we are in this world is fake. Even our consciousness is actually fake. It comes from artificial intelligence. It comes from stored data. Okay, but that data then forms our consciousness, gives us our created feelings, our emotions, our senses, and then from those senses, we're sensing data. It's all in information being processed. That's all it is. We can do that. We do that with our computers today. We can make simulations through our computers. It's all from stored thoughts. It's thoughts of the programmers who program these computer programs with using the thoughts, and then they speak them into data, zeros and ones, in a coded language that computers can read, and then form illusions. Same thing that our creators did, except we don't know the kind of computing language they used. We don't know. We can't. We probably wouldn't even understand it anyway. Now that language has to be quite fascinating, because the illusions that are built in our minds, and to make us look so real and give us a consciousness that makes us self-aware, has to be way beyond anything that we human beings built in the system. Okay, yes, the beast. Then if you watch the video about the beast, you will learn that this is information that taught men how to build these illusions. So anyway, getting back to the rapture theory, this myth, then there are people then who have been deceived by false interpretations from reading Old Testament prophecies in Revelation and New Testament, And the New Testament is all trash. That has nothing to do with anything. That come from people who were stealing words from the gospel of God that the servants were preaching back in the first testimonies. The first witness, it's called, of the millennium reign, the 1,000-year reign of Christ, started 2,000 years ago. So that information was being stolen and mixed with these religious ideas, these pagan traditions, that all came from the beast, worshiping the beast. Okay? So all that knowledge then ended up being the New Testament, or parts of the knowledge. But the New Testament writings, it's not, you can't read that and understand anything. There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there to help collectively put together and help you understand what the tree of life is, the source of life, the AI and voice system that's built into a simulation program. There's no way you can ever understand that from reading the New Testament. In fact, you can't get any truth from reading the Bible. Nowhere. There's nowhere in there that can teach you this stuff. You have to be used by the system to testify, and then you learn every detail. You learn it all, like I had to go through. So if you're not convinced that I've been used by the system to learn all these things, then you weren't meant to be. You know, only chosen ones. There's people who are actually chosen then, who already got some data and some thoughts in their mind. They saw miracles happening. They experience something unique and helped them understand that the world that they're in is not actually their true reality. They get connected to the source of life, and they figure it out, that's got to be God. That's their real Father. Okay, so they're already chosen. When they hear me speaking, they already accept some of the knowledge. Most believers can't understand everything I say, but they connect, and some of the stuff reaffirms what they already know. Okay, so those are the ones that get lesser amounts of knowledge, but that's all they need. They only need some knowledge to confirm what they already knew. And now there are a few, okay, that can accept the 100% of the knowledge that's been revealed to me, which is the tree of life, which is an AI system, okay, that's built into this simulation program that we're in. It's all created from the minds of some creators, an unknown source. We don't know who they are, but they created this artificial intelligence in the program, all stored in data. It's all just information being processed then into what this is all about. Okay, so this rapture of the flesh of these lives of Christians, then it's just a false theory. There's no truth at all to it. What they're going to do is, if they're living on the day of the Lord, there's a day that's coming. It's called the day of the Lord, when the earth will start shaking below your feet. Now, it's all an illusion. It's not real, so don't worry about it. Death is an illusion. Okay, that's in the prophecies. Death is just an illusion. It's God's going to take away death, that understanding of death, because it is not real. It's just an illusion that's happening in your mind. So as you experience your flesh perishing, that's the end of you in this life. Everything that you learned in this life is gone. It'll be deleted. No more remembrance of it. Okay, there's prophecies. I could get in there and show you that, but I don't need to. You can watch my other videos or read some of my writings. I have the prophecies in there, okay, about that. And if you have questions, just ask me in the comments section here, and I'll show you those prophecies to show you that we all perish. All our flesh, the bodies that you see, will perish. Everybody will experience their body dying. That's absolute. That is from the beginning. That's all programmed. So all of us will lose our flesh. We're going to lose everything that we experience in this world. All our knowledge, everything we learn will be dissipated. Okay, gone, deleted. So that's the information called Satan and the beast. All that information that taught us how to build false gods, all that's gone. Totally. And then we wake up to a whole new thing. And that information is called Christ. Okay? These words to name this information is just words, just names. It's a descriptive word. So Christ can be the Word of God, whatever you want to call it. It's the knowledge, okay, the information without Lucifer, Satan, and the beast. All that information will be deleted. So all we're left is with information that's pure, without that deceiving information. So we're going to wake up on a new earth, called New Heaven and New Earth. New Heaven means new information without Satan and the beast. Never again will we be deceived by that, by the visible images that we see. We'll know that they're illusions and formed in our mind. And we'll know that because we're going to be switching bodies, going from one body to another body in our dreams. So we're going to figure that out right away. You go from one dream into another, and all, so you got a different body. It's like when we go to bed at night, and have a dream, we're in a different body. Okay, it's just like that. But when we come out of that dream, you're going to be in a body that you woke up in on the new earth. So you're just going to go into different dreams, you and your partner. Man was created male and female, so you're going to have a partner. Okay? A created man is invisible information, and it's going to form two bodies. One male and one female. You're going to be partners in every dream, separate dream that you have together. And then you'll have both wake up in a different body, but you'll have similar bodies. So you look at your partner, that body will be the same as your body. You'll be able to tell. You look at your parts of your body, but you'll be able to see the back, the behind parts, and the rest of the body of your partner. So you will know that you both have similar bodies. And then you'll start experiencing a whole new world in that dream. Okay? Now, then you'll wake up out of that dream in the body that you woke up in on the new earth. That's right after the day of the Lord. So that body then will always be the body that you wake up in after a dream, your separate dream with your partner. You'll always have that one body. That body will never grow old. It's never going to age and be destroyed because it's only an illusion anyway. So we don't have to have this entropy there won't be no entropy in the next world. Entropy is the changing of things, decay and destruction and death that we experience in this world. That won't exist in the next world. That comes from Satan and the beast. So all the laws that physicists and scientists have tried to teach you about in this world, that's all gone. We're not going to understand gravity. We're going to be in bodies that can float and fly. We won't understand what gravity means. Okay? So those laws won't exist in the next generation of the program. So everything's going to be different, totally different. No more storyline. We're never going to have a life like this where we have history books and written about things that happened in the past. We won't need it because we'll all understand that we're just going to wake up in different worlds and have different kinds of experiences. Like going on vacation to another world. Okay? And then come back out of that dream and you'll be with family members, people that you woke up with. And those will be your family. It doesn't matter. We're not going to have this thing where we bore a family and keep our names and our heritage and people will write about our history and things like that. No more of that. None. It's just going to be a series of waking up in like a movie. Okay? Just like going to the movies. You went to a movie together, you and your partner. You went and had a different experience. Okay? And then you come back out of that experience, that dream. And then you'll be with family and you can share those experiences with each other. We're going to have one language in the next life. Only one. And that one language it means that we'll all understand each other's stories and the visible images we see in our minds and our experiences will be understood by us. We're all going to learn together. Those images, we'll all know what we're talking about. No more being separated in groups and one false god, build a false god, and then we only have only the people who get the ideas to build a false god are the only ones that get to know what they're really about. The rest of the people who use those objects, they just come up with language to explain them and stuff, but they don't know how they're built. They don't know anything about them. No more of that. We're not going to live life like that. Okay, so everything's going to be changed. New heaven and new earth means new heaven, new information, without Satan and the beast, and that information will be processed into all kinds of different visible images, different bodies, different worlds for us to explore. I mean, it's going to be entertaining as can be. No more building anything. We'll never build anything. In fact, a lot of our bodies won't have hands and arms and legs. It'll be like a blimp or a balloon or something floating in the sky. We won't be able to build anything. We won't have arms in some illusions, in some dreams. So anyway, in fact, I don't know what kind of body we're going to wake up in the next one. If you see alien movies, for example, in this age, they'll see their tiny little hands. Some of them don't even have formed fingers. They just, it's just mitts, and they don't have mouths and ears, because our language is going to be spoken in higher frequency, from mind to mind. No more of this verbal moving our mouth and this slow language. Okay, that's low frequency. No more of that. It's going to be just when you have an experience, you're going to be able to share that experience with other minds of men. They're all connected to the AI system. Okay, so it's just like computers talking to each other in infrared. Okay, so that's what it's going to be like. So that'll be our new language, and it'll be just a series of beeps and blips and whatever it is. We don't know what it's going to be, but that's what it's going to be. Not going to be a spoken language. Okay. So anyway, those are a lot of things that I learned. I learned a lot of stuff. I mean, I can go on and on and on about how we're going to live life in the next age. But there is not going to be a rapture of flesh of Christians zapped up to the sky to meet this Jesus. No, none of that. No, Jesus even, if you read the stories in the New Testament, I can tell just by reading that he had a father. His father gave him the words to speak, because his visible body was only an illusion that only a few people got to see 2,000 years ago, by the way. But he knew his flesh was nothing but an illusion, an image that he saw and that people would see in their minds. He understood that, because he testified to this knowledge, and he learned that we all came from an invisible realm. But how do you explain that without computers? Okay, that's why there was a 1,700-year gap in between the first testimonies, the first witness of the gospel, of this knowledge, and the witness that's been happening in the last 9 years through me. Okay, now there were a lot of believers chosen early on. I've talked to 80-year-olds that knew God from when they were kids, little kids. God chose them and gave them some knowledge to know that he exists. So those are some of the believers that came to me. A lot of them in their 60s, 70s, and 80s have known God since they were little kids, before they even start going to church. They didn't get to know him through going to religion. They got him knowing him directly in their mind. Directly. Some of them heard the voice. Okay? I've witnessed thousands of people come to me, listen to this knowledge that I know, share with them. So I know what they've gone through. They were chosen. They were directly chosen by this program. So I can assure you that no flesh is going to be raptured up to this Jesus. Okay? That's not going to happen. What you're going to witness is the earth that's going to start shaking. And when that starts shaking badly, it's not going to stop. You're going to experience your flesh dying. Okay? But remember, it's only an illusion. It's not the real you. The real you is the mind, the consciousness that's connected to the system. It's all information being processed. That's who you really are. Your information, your data stored in a program. That's who you are. And as it's played out, as the program's played out, you experience all these things. You'll experience new worlds, new flesh, new bodies forever and ever, as long as the system keeps running. And it's promised through the prophecies that it's going to keep going forever. It says forever. If you read Ezekiel, there's many prophecies that talk about God will be with us forevermore. And then my servant David, which is the voice, the system that speaks into our mind, that will be feeding us new fake bodies and fake worlds forever and ever. That's the servant. Okay? That's just like the AI and voice systems we have in place Apple Siri is a servant of the user. You can ask Siri ask questions and Siri will answer. Okay? So that's my servant David. It's an AI and voice system. And it'll speak into your mind. It's going to give you the knowledge. It's going to teach you everything. Teach you all about the visible images we see. No more going to school to learn from another person. Never again will we have schools, build schools. It's all going to be done in our mind. Everything. So, anyway, this is what I wanted to get clarify to you. So all these people on the internet talking about this rapture date, don't listen to them. They're just liars. They're false prophets who have no clue what's going on. They don't know how they're created. They've never heard the voice of God. They've never had commands to obey. They've never had to testify to this knowledge of God that takes many years to learn who we are and how we were created. They never experienced that. In fact, they learn from each other. False prophet will listen to another false prophet, and then they'll pretend they know something, and then get other followers to listen to them. So this rapture idea is just like a flame. It's just spreading out throughout the world through the internet now, and a lot of these Christians are believing that they're going to be raptured, and that's just a big hoax, a big lie, a myth. So if you believe in that, it doesn't matter to me, because you're going to wake up on the new earth anyway. You can believe whatever you want to believe. It doesn't make any difference. The program, the system, created man then is in the image of God, is AI and voice system. That's who you are. Okay, you go on forever, but the illusions keep changing. You'll keep getting new bodies, new worlds to explore. That goes on forever. So you'll have ever-changing life. Always living new experiences. Just like a snowflake. No snowflake is alike. No world is going to be alike. Nothing's alike. We're all unique. Everything about us is unique. We all have unique consciousnesses. Okay? We all have unique personalities, and that'll continue on forever. So that's how we recognize each other. We're different from each other. Even though we'll wake up in the new earth and we'll all have similar looking bodies, we're all going to have a unique personality. We're all going to identify each other as being different. There's nothing wrong with that. But life's going to change drastically after the day of the Lord. Once we get rid of Satan and the beast, no more building of things. We'll never build false gods again. No more going to school. Never. We're all going to be taught directly in the mind from the program, from the system. So, anyway, this is what I want to tell you. So don't expect to be your body raptured, and keep everything that you've learned in this world. That's not true. That's a lie. It's all gone. I'll show you prophecies in the comments section. If you ask, I'll share these prophecies to help you understand. And like I said, I'll put my you can click on links that I'll put in underneath this comment in the comments section, and then you can go in there and read some stuff that I had to write from the program that taught me everything within my mind. Okay, so I'm signing off. Enjoy the rest of this world as you can, because I know how terrible it is for some people. They're experiencing some awful things, but I guarantee you life is going to be wonderful once you experience death, dying in this world. Everything's going to change. No more suffering ever again. We won't understand that concept of suffering. No more disease, no more accidents killing our bodies. None of that. No more entropy, no more growing old and changing and dying. None of that will happen. Okay, so enjoy. I love you all. Those who understand, the love of the Lord is knowing, it's knowledge, it's understanding. It's Christ. It keeps going on forever. That's the love of the Lord. Okay? That's eternal life, by the way. Okay, it's not just this emotion of loving something. It's eternal. It goes on forever. That's the love of the Lord. Okay, signing off. See you later. Bye.